I understand we still have a podcasting job, so thank you for that.
Yeah, we're going to keep you guys on for another season or so, and then we'll see how it goes.
Okay.
What's up, Herostock Nation?
Welcome to this episode of the Roundtable, where heroes talk. I'm Tom Lamog. This week, we're going to do a little reminiscing about the big Ashland event that just took place just a couple of weeks ago. Let me bring on the show's co-host, Matthew Jones. Matthew, good to see you.
What is going on, Tom? How we doing?
I can't believe 2 weeks have already passed. You know, I mean, it was just like yesterday we were looking forward to all of the bands that were coming in, all of the things, all of the events and the activities that were planned. And here it is already 2 weeks after. I don't know about you, but I miss it. I do.
Oh,
how are you doing?
Absolutely. I absolutely miss it. Now I'm seeing a lot on my Facebook now and my social media platforms that are coming up with like Herostock 2025. And I'm just like, oh, wait until I get all these pictures I posted, So, I mean, I'm still kind of on cloud nine. It was a really, really cool event, both the 22nd and the 23rd, rock night, country night. There's something to say about the atmosphere there and the amount of work that goes into doing that.
2 nights. There were 8 bands, live music, because it was country night, and there was rock night. There was delicious food. I remember the barbecue food truck. That was awesome. Yeah, the pork was just, it was too good. There were games and there were activities, family-friendly activities. There were resource booths for our veterans, first responders, and Gold Star families, consisting primarily of nonprofits and for-profit organizations providing service to those groups of individuals. And then we also had the silent auction where there were many winners. There were many prizes. I don't want to forget the spectacular skydiving show put on by Bravo Zulu. That was.
Oh yeah, I was really hoping for it because last year I saw it and I was like, oh man, please tell me they're going to do it. And then when I saw the Bravo Zulu stand, I was like, it's happening. So yeah, super excited. I love it. I absolutely love it.
There was also, as you mentioned earlier, there were some presentations, some awards that were given out to the Herostock's hometown heroes, the Quilt of Valor. We had our first acoustic jam, which was pretty amazing as well too. So there was a lot. Did I miss anything? Did I forget? I'm just getting old.
You're hitting the nail on the head.
All right. Well, okay. So now might be a good time to bring on our guests. First of all, you probably remember this guy, Jason Steiner, who is the Herostock founder and president, and Herostock's vice president, Natasha Montero. Thank you both for joining us and helping recall some of the things that happened just a couple short weeks ago. Jason, before we get in too deep on any of the questions that we've prepared, maybe you can just what's the first thing that comes to your mind when you think of Herostock 25?
For me, I've got to say incredible. It was another amazing event. Ton of impacts that were made during the event and post-event, even with a lot of the nonprofits that were there. I can't say enough about the team that put it together. We've got an amazing board that really jumped through a lot of hoops again this year to, get this thing done, and some amazing sponsors that jumped in with us this year, some that we've had for 3 years and some that were brand new this year. So, it was just a collaborative. It was an amazing event that everybody worked really, really hard to put on. And I think we pulled it off again. I think it was a great event. So
I guess we should take a sampling, a vote. Do you agree with Jason or disagree?
I get 2 votes. I got 2 hands.
Oh, gee. I see even Zoom is tracking.
6 votes. Yes.
Yeah, that was awesome. Hey, Natasha, let me come to you as your role as vice president. You stepped up and there was a lot that was going on your plate not only for that day, but things that were leading up. When you think of Herostock 25, what's the first thing that comes to mind to you?
Memorable. It's a lot of things have happened. A lot of bonds have formed. A lot of friendships have formed. Um, I just look back and I'm just sitting here. I'm like, we did it, and we had fun doing it. As stressful as the days may have seemed, we had fun doing it. Even with the storm that came through Friday, talked to a bunch of vendors, and I was like, hey, do what's best for you. If you want to sit around, wait, you can. If you want to pack up, that's perfectly fine. And a lot of them were like, we're just going to drop our tent and just sit under it.
I saw
like,
some people
holding
holding
on.
it down like we're going nowhere.
I don't think it was
I
on the
will.
program either. Right? The storm was not on the program, but Jason, I saw
No.
you running around getting the word out to all of the vendors that were out there, and they all acted immediate in getting things secure. And I think it was Shannon who opened the afternoon, and they all kind of crowded inside there. That was probably welcoming for Shannon and his band.
Yep. That was the best crowd for an opener we've had so far. So
Exactly. Well, so I know that there is. Maybe we can talk about the team, because the board and the directors themselves, they are so. Each of them. When I was looking around to see where everyone was at and what everyone was doing, they were equally as busy running around and organizing. But maybe we can call out their names.
sure. We got Tim as our treasurer, Tim Cray. He's been with us since the very beginning. He handles all the money side of it and tells us that we need to raise more money so that we can put more in the bank. So he's kind of the prod on that end. We've got Anthony. Anthony, went through some medical stuff this year, and we didn't know if he was going to make it. And he called me about a week before, and he goes, "It's a top secret thing, but I'm coming in." It was fun having him and Aaron there. They jumped in where they could and helped out. Aaron helped out a ton in Anthony's place. We just kept telling him to sit down and shut up and watch the show. So
Yeah.
he wasn't happy with that, but
Can I recall something? It was one of those things where it's kind of like the rain had come down. It was like starting to get wet inside the pavilion itself. And I walked up to you and I said, should we be worried about that? Well, apparently Anthony was worried about it, because he grabbed himself a push broom and he pushed all of the water out.
Yeah. Anthony
That
was
guy.
superhero, man. He's like, not on my watch. He was right there.
Yeah, and he's been a great addition to the team. He came in last year, partway through the year, and has really jumped into the role of secretary. Done a great job with that, keeping our meeting minutes and making sure he's keeping us somewhat in line at least. And I'll let Natasha announce the rest.
We have Cindy, my code event director. She's technically supposed to be assistant, but we are working great together. We gave her co-event
Now, the
director.
two of you are you bringing in the entertainment and the vendors, and is that what you guys are responsible for?
So the vendors a collaboration with the whole team, but Paige actually kind of took on that big horse back in April. So she's been doing a fantastic job. It's been crazy. So she's been helping with us. We have Jamie. Oh my goodness. Jamie did an amazing job. The day of the event. She just took a problem. We had a big problem that came up, and she's like, I got it, guys. You go do something else. We didn't have to worry about it. Bless her heart. And then we have our newest member, hopefully, Anna. She came in as an event committee member, and took the reins on a lot of different little projects here and there and ran with them. And so she wants to be a bigger part of Herostock, to step in and do some stuff too. So fantastic. And of course, you can't forget you, Tom. You have been an amazing addition to Herostock and doing our media and everything like that. So thank you for that, because I will say, and I said it at the event, you and your podcast, your social media, your website, you're pushing everything. You are the reason over half of our attendees out there came because of you. So thank you for that.
Just doing the team thing. I just want to, and I want to thank you for this award, by the way. I'm honored to be a part of the Herostock family and to help this mission succeed. I'm all in. So it's
Yes.
thank you for that. So let me go back. Let me just go back now to. I mean, we had so many things happening that day. We had the bands, we had the food, the games, the activities, research. Can you tell me the planning process that goes behind? I mean, if you could just kind of summarize what people don't know about how much work, how much effort goes into this from the team.
Jason, did we start planning process back in November? Is that when I got the committee together?
It was, around November 1st. So
Yeah.
it's a lot of months. It's a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of collaboration with people that, everybody thinks these are just easy to throw together. You call people up and everybody shows up and no big deal. And the amount of time that myself and my board puts into this is ridiculous. Like if we got paid by the hour, we'd all be rich, but we don't get paid anything. So we're all poor.
I really was tracking my volunteer time up until April, and I had over 100 hours from January through April.
Yeah. You can tell the amount of effort that went into it because what I saw, and I was looking at things from a guest perspective because I figured, you know what, I had really nothing to do with the hands-on work that your team was doing. So from a guest perspective, everything was there. The parking situation was easy to figure out, getting to the ticket booth and then walking through the vendors and not really knowing if I needed to do anything with the vendors, that they were there and I could ask them questions, and then making it into the pavilion area, the games, and it was all laid out. And this is not one of those things where you just, you know what? Okay, I'll put a little thought into that the week of. There's obviously a whole lot more, and it showed. It really did.
Yeah, we as a group spend a lot of time. We meet at least once a month. Most of our meetings are at least an hour and a half, sometimes 2.5 hours, depending on how squirrely we get. But
that never happens. What are you talking about?
No, not with this group at all. No, we never squirrel off. But no, it really. I mean, I'm glad I didn't track my time because I would hate to know, because not only are we doing the planning for this main event, but we're doing 2 smoke-offs and we're doing 2 golf tournaments and we're doing events with collaborations with other people and other groups and setting up booths. We ran, I think this year up to this point, we're sitting at about 35 or 40 booths that we ran this year, talking about Herostock, what it's about, handing out flyers, selling merch. That the merch stuff it's a job in itself. Keeping track of the merch and tracking it for everyone. And now we're doing our own hats. So we order in hats and we order in patches and we press all of our own hats. And
I got mine too. Yeah. I got mine. I didn't see it in the online, but I certainly saw the selection on the table, and it was a lot more than I remember from the previous year too. So that's
right.
Yeah.
And it's the love of what we're doing is why we do this. It's like I said, nobody gets paid. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure every single board member is out of pocket, to run one of these events and time away from the family and time away from stuff that we could be doing, that we may want to be doing, but we got other things to deal with. And setting this event up and giving that stage to these nonprofits to get up and talk about what they're talking, what they do, how they're helping our veteran community, our first responder community. That's what the love of this is. And it's not for the money. It's not for the fame. It's not for the pat on the back. It's knowing that we've made an impact in the world of our heroes, one way or another, whether it's a night out with everybody and hanging out, or they found that nonprofit that they needed to find that they had no idea even existed.
Now, what's exciting about the vendors? I managed to get, I think, to about maybe 2/3 of them, and I've got a few of them scheduled to come on the roundtable with us. So, yeah, in the coming weeks, I know that. Let's see, we've got Dog Tags Garage coming. We've got Smoke and RWB. We even have Rick Yee from A Warrior's Mindset.
That's awesome.
And it's kind of like what's neat. And I'm maybe you can comment on this. Do you get the same excitement from those who want to be a part of the Hero Stock Nation family when you talk with them? Because I do.
Oh yeah. Talking to, because I've got a chance to talk to all the vendors especially when I was checking them in. But I went around to make sure that they were okay, make sure if I can get them anything, stuff like that. But then I just sat there and talked to them about what their missions are, what they do, what their favorite thing is about what their cause and stuff like that. And it was fantastic just to talk to every single one of them and listen to the benefits that they offer and everything like that. So yeah, I get so excited and I'm like, you're coming back next year, right? And they're like, when is it? And I'm like, I will get back to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's cool. And then you get to hear, or I do a lot of times. I get to hear the backside of that post event. Hey, we've got this person coming into the nonprofit, and they're actually stepping into a leadership role of it. Or we got this donor that stopped by and had no idea that we did scuba diving and parachuting, or hunts for young Gold Star family kids, or whatever it might be. And they're like, hey, we got this sponsor that came in from your event. And I've had people that are like, well, you're okay with somebody getting a sponsor from your event? I'm like, absolutely.
So let me ask you this then, since you're bringing in, talking a little bit about the sponsors, what's the role of the sponsors? Now, I've managed to talk to a couple of them in interviews, but from your perspective, really, what is the sponsor offering Hero Stock that people may not know about?
It depends on the sponsor. We have some of them that come in. We had a metal art guy that came in this year and donated 4 different metal art pieces that were just incredible. Mm-hmm. So they went on our silent auction and helped us raise funds that way. The other sponsors that are coming in, they're giving out $50 to $5,000, $8,000, $10,000, and that's how this thing works, man. It is not cheap to put one of these on. Mm-hmm. We pay every one of the artists. We pay for the sound and lights. Leon Haith actually traded out work and got us the venue for free this year. But nice. Porta Johns, insurance.
That's got to be substantial.
Yes. And he spent 4 days parking cars for their event that they run out at Country Drive, the Country Drive Live. Mm-hmm. And he spent 4 days out there on a golf cart, parking cars and setting up parking and tearing down parking. And so, I mean, he was out there at like 4:30 or 5 in the morning, and he would go until about midnight every night. And he didn't waver, and he donated his time to help us get the venue for free this year. And it's people like that, the time, treasure, talents. Those are the 3 ways that you can support Hero Stock. And, whether you're a volunteer or whether you're handing over cash or whatever it is, mm-hmm. That's how we do what we do and how we can create this platform for these nonprofits.
That does bring a question to mind for you, Jason. I was asked by a few people that I work with. They want to know what is the easiest way to get in touch with whoever they need to get in touch with at Hero Stock in order to volunteer time for events, whether it be tear down or set up. So, I mean, there are people out there asking, how do I get involved? So,
probably the easiest way to get involved is either email Natasha or myself, and then we can direct you. Yeah, Natasha's usually the best, and we can direct you where you need to go. And it's we've made it simple for people to get a hold of us. It's our first name .herostock@gmail. So mine is jason.herostock@gmail, natasha.herostock@gmail. that's probably the easiest way to do it. If you can't get through that way, or if there's some reason why you can't send an email to us, you can go onto the webpage, www.herostock.org, and send a message through there, and it goes to our info at Herostock. And that's probably the second best way of getting in touch with us. I don't actually monitor that. Somebody else on the board does. But I know me and Natasha, you send an email, and usually you'll get one back within a couple hours at the very most. So that's probably the best way.
Is that also the same way that, let's say, a veteran artist or first responder who's, in the performing arts and stuff like that, is that also the best way for them to get in touch with you?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Anytime you want to get a hold of us, that's probably the best way for any question. And we've always pushed really hard to have that veteran or first responder in the bands. I think that's kind of a key thing that we want to kind of stick with to a certain degree. We're not always going to be able to hit that, because at the end of the day, the more people that we have come in, the more impacts we'll have, the more the vendors will have a chance to get in front of potential sponsors or veterans or first responders. So like this year, LV Shane didn't have a veteran in his band. But we had his name to try to draw more people into what we're doing to create that bigger atmosphere for our heroes to come in and get those resources.
Absolutely. And I got to say that's one of the things that I noticed was, in comparison to last year, I felt like there was more people there. I felt like the atmosphere was just more energized, like it was alive,
Yep.
So, I mean, that's one of the things you got to do,
Yeah.
Let me just ask, because now that you brought that up, Matt, I would be curious to find out from each of you really what you thought might have been the event or activity that was most recognized.
Oof.
Yeah, I'll start. I'll start. I'll start. To me, this is the first time we actually did an acoustic jam. This is something for me. It's kind of like we started off with just me and Matt, and then we found ourselves at the end playing in front of people, in front of a tent, and the guests from the bands just came and joined right in and made an afternoon, well, a little bit of the morning or afternoon. It was afternoon, wasn't it? Yeah.
I think we played a little past our time too. So
we
it's
just
just like, we're
they
just
didn't
going
want
to
to
keep going.
leave. It's like music was truly there, and it was the first time that we really did something like this. And we had it was Dog Tag's garage, Mark, who basically says, "You got stay here. We're going to put a mic to you." It's like so everyone can hear. It's kind of like,
Yeah, he was ready to chain us down. So,
yes. But that was a really pleasant surprise from all that. But I really love the layout. So I'm sorry, I'm going into a second one. But the layout of the vendors was to me was like it made it so easy just to walk up and ask questions. And so whoever thought of that, major kudos. So I'm gonna.
That was Natasha.
Then Cindy and myself, yes. We called it the Valley of Vendors because you have to walk through the vendors to get anywhere at the facility. So if you want food, you got to walk through vendors. If you want to listen to bands, you got to walk through vendors. Like if you want to go to the bouncy houses, you have to walk through vendors. Like, and that's one thing. Like our vendors said that they got to see so many people because they were forced to walk through the vendors. So
brilliant,
which was great.
Brilliant.
you can't tell us you didn't see him.
Right.
Exactly. Natasha, what was your favorite? I just am curious what you thought might have been the standout of everything that happened those 2 days.
My favorite thing was the cup, the fun like head, shoulders, knees cup challenge that our wonderful MC put on. I thought that was fantastic. It got our audience involved and made them like have fun and stuff while there was a set change, and just got them on stage, and it was lots of laughter. And I think that was the only time I actually stood still for a good solid 10 minutes to watch. So
I remember. I think I was up there with Cindy, and I told her, I was like, I'm going to headbutt it out of you.
Oh my God.
It's going to happen.
And she won.
And she won.
And she
Oh,
would. She's
wow.
yeah, it was awesome. I loved it.
Yeah, I didn't catch that when I was out there talking to the vendors, obviously in between sets, but I did see pictures of it. I thought, oh, I can't wait to see more of them. But yeah,
Right.
perfect. Jason, what about your favorite?
Man, I got so many, it's hard to pick.
Hey, by the way, before you answer that, I did see you catch LV Shane. That's a rare thing for you to be able to step aside for from your role and actually enjoy the show. And I saw you just like and really enjoying it. To me, that was a magical moment. But
Did you see the light up jacket Jason put
I,
on?
I had the light up jacket on and everything.
did you have the
That's who that
lightsaber
was.
too? Who was walking around with a lightsaber?
That's who that was.
That was me.
Okay.
That was the jacket.
Was that your favorite moment wearing the jacket? Or
No, I got to say that probably wasn't my favorite moment, though it made a lot of people laugh. But no, man, I've got so many. Watching LV up on stage, just grooving, just he was there in the moment, and the music was flowing through him, and it was awesome to watch that and have the crowd being as energized as they were with him. That was our biggest crowd probably for the headliner. So that was really cool. Gallivant, when they jumped on all three of them were playing the drums, and it just completely blew my mind to sit there and watch them. And I'm like, there's three dudes beating on a drum set. And it sounds amazing. Like
they made it look fun, didn't they?
they made it look like a blast, and
Oh, I
when they
remember
had
turning and looking at you, and I was saying something. I couldn't even hear myself. I was like, holy crap.
right, it was super cool. But I got to say, probably my favorite moment of the whole thing was when Jim stepped up and talked about Better Off Alive. That song has been a huge part of my playlist. It rolls pretty much every single day. And what he was saying about family and community, and this right here, and he was talking to the crowd, this right here is Herostock. This is your community. This is your home. And to me, that was kind of that point where it's like, that's it. That's what this is. It's not so much about the music, and it's, the resources are awesome to have, but it's having that community that we had in the military, that we had as a first responder, to rally around you, not only when things are bad, but when things are good, when things are going good. And so that to me was kind of that hit home moment of, holy crap, he just defined Herostock in this little speech that he gave off the cuff. That was not planned. That was just an off the cuff. Hey, we're going to have Jim jump up here and talk about it because he's a Marine. It was like, what he put out there was like, wow, he nailed it.
He was also sharing the shirts that they were making. And that was very touching as well.
Yep.
He's like, it's not about us, this is
right.
And he added that in to his dialogue. So very cool.
And they donated back to us with the shirts that they sold. We've never had a group do that before, and they reached out and they're like, hey, we want to do this collaboration on shirts. Are you cool with it? And I'm like, send me the proof. I want to see it first, and then we'll roll with it. And,
and
they rolled it out.
You're wearing it.
I'm wearing it.
You are. Do you want to do a twirl real quick just to kind of let everyone know what they're missing out on? That's the shirt that we were talking about with all of the bands and the musicians listed. Thanks to Doug.
It's got the flag.
That's right.
On that. Yeah.
For those of you who are listening to this and not watching it, we just saw Jason's backside.
And Matthew really liked it. Just saying.
Oh yeah,
he liked it so much he has his own shirt. So yeah.
No, and it was super cool that they reached out to do the collab, and it wasn't a ton of money, but it was awesome to see that they wanted to step up and help us out. Like, they didn't have to do that, and they jumped in to help us out, and they did this collab on this shirt, and it turned out super cool. And I'm excited to wear it out, and let people see what they missed if they didn't come out to Herostock.
Limited supply for sure.
I want to say that, of course, I'm going to be talking all year up until next Herostock Ashland about the bands. And I can't refute it. Die Tired is one of my new favorite bands. I listen to a lot of music. So if you make it on the playlist, you're doing something right. But out of everything that we experienced, the awesome MC, the music, to seeing the vendors, to just seeing everyone have such a great time, the one thing that really stood out to me was that break where we saw a Quilt of Valor presentation, right? Seeing that was amazing. And I had a connection to that. Like I had to see it happen. I had to hear it all over again. I got my Quilt of Valor from a fellow service member that I used to work very close with. His name is Eric Wright. He put me in for my Quilt of Valor. And Eric is no longer with us. He unfortunately passed away, 42 years of age. And so when I see that gesture happening for other people, it wraps me right back in those memories and in those feelings. I can't say enough about it, but I gotta ask you, Natasha, what did it feel like being up there, hearing those words from those ladies and receiving your quilt? I know you and Cindy got those quilts, so tell me about that.
Oh, when we got so backtrack a little, I got told to be at the stage at this time. I'm like, why? It's not on the schedule. Why? And I get Jason, don't worry about it. I'm
Oh
like,
man.
From the
okay.
top. Ooh.
Cindy comes up. I'm like, what are you supposed to be on the stage too? She goes, yeah. Do you know why? I was like, nope, just got told. She goes, okay. And we got called. Her and I were in disbelief. And I remember looking at her on stage going, if you start crying, I'm going to start crying, and we don't want to cry. So don't cry. She goes, it's already too late. I was like, I'm going to start crying.
Oh,
So the whole time up on stage, I was trying to listen to the words, the ladies, but the whole time I was like, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry. Like,
wow.
because it does. It hits us. It hits us so many
Yeah.
feels, so many wonderful ways. Like, being recognized for that, getting my own quote. Like, I'm trying not to tear up now. Like, it means so much to me. All the hard work I do, because I'm still currently enlisted. I'm still currently serving. So just knowing all that hard work means something. And it's not just for me, it's for others. Other people see it too. Same thing with Cindy. I know that, like, after we're at odd. We're shocked. Like, part of me thinks that I want to do more. Like, I wish I could sell. I wish I could help those ladies out to make more quotes so we can give them out to more deserving members, but I don't know how to.
I think
But
we
yeah,
always do that.
Yeah.
We always kind of say that
just-
we're not deserving,
Yes.
Yep.
So
You two absolutely are. You guys are a pivotal part. You guys are beacons of hope, and you guys are a testament to the caliber of people who are inside of Herostock. That's beauty in itself. So you guys are very deserving of those.
thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's still, to me, I'm still in shock with it. Like, my daughter wants to cuddle with it. I'm like, no, this is the quilt we just
This
displayed.
is mine. Even though they tell you, don't put this up somewhere, wrap it around you,
Right,
it's like,
right.
well, I want to look at it.
Right.
Yeah, no, it will probably be used here soon because she has been grabbing at it, and I'm like, but I know those ladies made that quilt for that purpose, to be wrapped up. Every time I wrap it up, I remember how grateful I am for the opportunities that I've had to be a service member.
Absolutely amazing.
My greatest part of that whole thing is I am absolutely terrible at keeping secrets. And I kept it a
And you
secret
did
from
it.
both of them. And it was in the actual script.
Oh man.
Oh,
They had no idea.
Our names weren't in the script. I just knew it was the presentation. I just didn't know who. You said that the speaker has the name.
It was blank and blank.
Yeah. You, sir, you pulled it off.
I did.
way to
I
go.
did.
You did?
And they were not happy with me at first.
Well, I mean,
Oh
that's
gosh, there he goes again.
action, reaction. That's how that works.
Right?
Listen, Natasha, I just want to say, leadership suits you fine. It really does, because you and
Thank
Jason
you.
and the rest of the team needed that leadership to pull this one off, and you guys really did. So give yourself a pat on the back for that, for those leadership qualities that few others, struggle with. It comes natural to you. So congratulations on that. So seated at the round table with me and Matt are Herostock's founder and president, Jason Steiner, Herostock VP, Natasha Mondero. Want to thank you both. We could talk for hours. We
Yep.
know this, and
I've done that.
do this again because we didn't really touch on everything, but it was enough to basically say, if you didn't come to Herostock 25, there's always Herostock 26.
So definitely come out. It's going to be a bigger, better event.
And we have a possible new partnership in the works that could be incredible. So we're ready. We're ready for 26. We're ready to be bigger. We're ready to be bigger, badder, louder, more fun, more hugs, more community. We want it to be the best.
When we come back, this year's featured musical guest is a singer-songwriter from just outside of Atlanta, a U.S. Army veteran who served during Operation Iraqi Freedom. It's John Hensley. He's going to be joining us after the break. You're listening to the Roundtable, where heroes talk, on the Reads Across America Radio Network.
Lonely nights trapped inside my mind. I was looking for some way to pass the time. Time for me is a real peculiar thing. Memories lost to way too many drinks. It's hard being alone with your devices. Working overtime to fill my vices. For the longest time I felt nothing at all. Better nothing than a letdown from a fall. There's nights that I still wake from hazy dreams. Tasting whiskey on my lips I didn't drink. I moved on and I know I'll be just fine. And I'll stick to water instead of wine. And I'll stick to water instead of wine. I've made many mistakes in my life. Tore her heart to pieces without trying. But I have 500 days and I'm at peace. And I pray that one day she forgives me. There's nights that I still wake from hazy dreams. Tasting whiskey on my lips I didn't drink. But I've moved on and I know I'll be just fine. And I'll stick to water instead of wine. And I'll stick to water instead of wine. She would choose to stay. Does she see me now for the man I used to be? Does she see someone who finally is free? There's nights that I still wake from hazy dreams. Tasting whiskey on my lips I didn't drink. But I moved on and I know I'll be just fine. water instead of wine. And I'll stick to water instead of wine. And I'll stick to water instead of wine.
Welcome back to the Roundtable, where heroes talk, where in just a moment, we'll be having a conversation with singer-songwriter John Hensley, a U.S. Army veteran who served during Operation Iraqi Freedom. But first, it is Team Herostock's belief that there is power in music, which brings healing and connection amongst our community of veterans, first responders, and Gold Star families. Our events and programs, like the Roundtable, where heroes talk, will include having musicians, singer-songwriters, bands, and artists participating and sharing their craft with you. And there are several more artists that we've got lined up. We hope that you enjoy all that they share through their personal stories and their musical performances, which you'll only hear on the Roundtable. Ain't that the truth, Matt?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And I tell you, Tom, I'm excited to talk with our guest today. Listening to his songs, what I can just tell you right off the get-go is his vocals set that tempo for the story, kind of really let you dive in. It makes you want to not stop listening. And the melody, the music, it sets that mood, and it's so beautiful. It blends really well. I can't wait to talk to him.
All right. Well, let's bring him on right now. John Hensley. John, hey, man. Welcome to the Roundtable, where heroes talk. You are a hero. I know that. I've heard your stories, but now you get the opportunity to share it with Herostock Nation.
First of all, I appreciate all the good work you guys are doing with Herostock and showcasing veterans who are musicians, and I can speak for everybody in that community that we appreciate what you guys are doing.
Hey, let's go back to that song itself. You just released a new EP, a 5-song EP. Is this one of the songs that appears on it?
Yes, it is. It was kind of the last one that we added. It was late edition, but from what people have been telling me, it was kind of the sleeper of the record. Nobody expected people to like it as much as they have, but I've had a lot of people reach out to me about it and saying that they really enjoy that one.
Yeah, I can see why. Quite the story, and the backstory as well too, as to what motivated you to write that. So this new EP that you have, maybe you can tell us a little bit about it. First of all, the name.
Yeah, the name of the EP is Long Hard Road, and it's one of the tracks is called Long Hard Road, and it was a song that I wrote last year while I was at Camp Southern Ground. I attended a program 2 years ago called Warrior Song, where I was a participant. That was a program for veterans who were singers and songwriters. And then last year at Warrior Song, I was asked to come back to camp as a mentor for the incoming group of veterans that got to be in the program. And I had this guitar riff that I had written, and I didn't have a song for it. It was kind of a swampy riff that I really liked, and there's a lot of songwriters there that were veterans, and I was like, hey, I've been working on something. You guys want to work on a song? And so we all sat down, and me and this guy, Chuck Weimer, who's a musician out of Texas, who's a veteran, he said, well, what do you want the song to be about? And I said, man, because of the swampy vibe, I kind of want it to be like about a guy who's like really going through some stuff. So I want it to be like one of those, hey, I'm out riding the trains, maybe addicted to drugs songs. Mm-hmm. And so I'm sitting there kind of playing the riff, and he's like, I got 2 verses. I'm like, already? And so he starts to sing, and I'm like, okay, well, let me figure out how to make this into a song. And then we wrote the 2 verses, and then I came up with the chorus pretty much immediately. And the chorus is really just as like, it's a long, hard road, and I'm a long way from home. Mm-hmm. And then we probably worked on it for an hour and a half, and it got kind of late. And we all went to bed because we had to be up the next morning to do stuff for the program. And about 3 a.m, I got up to go to the bathroom, and like the next verse just hit me. And so I literally was singing it into my phone in the bathroom at like 3 a.m, and I got up really early, and I went outside, and I was like, oh, this is going to work. And so I wrote that song with another veteran who's a singer-songwriter. And, I thought it'd be a cool name for an album, because the music industry in itself is a very long, hard road, and it's hard to get, really any traction doing it. And I thought that'd be a cool album title. And so that's what I picked.
you've got yourself at least a couple of albums right now, songs from the first and the second. And I have to tell you, after listening to both of them, there's some polish that's on this new EP that it definitely sounds much more creative, maybe a little more energy to it, but it certainly sounds a lot more polished. I'm just wondering if you're using studio musicians to do that, or is this the band from the first album?
It is pretty much the same band. We did add another guitar player because one of my guys wasn't available. He's another guy that we use as a fill-in around town. His name's David Pewitt. He's one of those guys that went to Atlanta Institute of Music, has basically a degree in how to play the guitar, and he's a great addition. And David actually played guitar on most of those tracks, but played bass on one of them. And so just good guys to have around. I think maybe some of the polished tone was, the longer I've been doing this, the more I've gotten just akin to what I really want from the musician. So I'm just able to describe better, hey, this is kind of what I want you to do. Because I think that production-wise, it'll make it sound the best.
I seem to remember when we spoke on the other program, it was about 11 months ago or so, you were about ready to finish studying sound engineering. How did that go? Did you finally make it through the entire course and graduate?
I did. I attended a program called Apprentice Academy up in Nashville. It's run by a producer named Joe West, and Joe has won a Grammy for a record that he produced, and he's also written a couple of #1 songs. And he was very kind to me, and they gave me a scholarship to attend his program. So I got to, peek behind the curtain and learn some of those, pro tricks that you learn only by being in the studio with somebody that really knows how to do it. And so I think a lot of that really did influence a lot of the record that I just put out, because I had, my ears were better. They were more akin to what was happening in the mixes, and so I was able to give better feedback to my engineer that we used, and I was just able to give better feedback to my band. Like, hey, this is what I want you guys to try to shoot for when we're making this record. So I think that all that stuff in combination really improved the sound quality of what we were able to produce.
But let's talk a little bit about what's been happening in your life since we spoke last, almost a year ago. I thought I saw online somewhere that you sang the national anthem, and this is no small thing. This wasn't for like a high school auditorium. This was something big. Maybe you could share that with us.
Yeah, so several months ago, I just got a random Instagram message from an organization called NRA Country, and I was like, oh, is this like the actual NRA, the National Rifle Association? And they just sent me an Instagram message that said, hey, we're looking for a veteran to sing the national anthem to open up our expo that we're having in Atlanta. We have an annual meeting there, every year, and this year it's in Atlanta, and we'd like to know if you could sing the national anthem. And so I kind of thought maybe this is kind of a joke. So, well, yeah, just have somebody call me. I just threw my phone number in there, and about 10 minutes later, I got a phone call, and the caller ID said, hey, this is the National Rifle Association. And and he said, yeah, we're having a big show, and like the end of the show, Big and Rich is going to be the headliner, and we'd like for you to sing the national anthem to open up the show for Big and Rich. And,
Had you sung the national anthem before?
Never one time.
Yeah, so no pressure. Right? No pressure.
And it was funny because that was actually the next question he asked me. He said, have you ever sang the national anthem? And I said, no. He said, well, do you think you can do it? And I said, yeah, I can do it. He goes, well, how do you think you're going to do it? Like a cappella? And I was like, no, I think I'm going to try to do what Chris Stapleton did when he did it at the Super Bowl. And he goes, really? And I said, yeah, give me like a day or two, and I'll work on it, and I'll send you a recording, and you can tell me if you like it or not. And he said, sure, that'd be great.
In front of the NRA, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, no pressure, right? Like really patriotic people. Like you have to make sure you do a good job. And so about 2 days later, he was like, hey, do you have that recording for me? I said, hey, I'm going to do it for you tonight. Just as soon as I can get it done, I'll send it to you. And the guy had been very communicative the whole time, and I record the guitar, I record the vocal, I do a little bit of studio magic on it to make it sound a little nicer, just to send it to him. And he's like radio silent for like 16, 17 hours. And I go, oh man, he must have hated it.
Oh man.
And so now I'm like nervous, I'm sweating bullets. And,
oh boy.
Oh man.
And
it's
finally,
fine.
Yeah, and finally I get a text message back. He said, John, I sent it to like everybody in the NRA Country organization, and they love it. You're the guy. It's going to be you.
Well, this is
nice.
This is sounding like a story that I've heard before from other individuals who go to a certain place, sing a song, and all of a sudden
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
instant
Craziness.
instant craziness. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It was a very, very cool opportunity, and what an interesting moment because I've sang for a lot of people before, but you're talking like a sold out show, and that auditorium seating with like an upper deck. So I'm looking like there's people there, and then there's people above me, and it's really just me out there, and I have the honor guard behind me, like presenting the colors and.
Can you step through the moment with us when it came time?
Yeah.
And
Well, I don't really get a lot of stage fright normally because I perform often, and I've performed at some pretty big events. But for whatever reason, when I was really good all day long going into the event, and we got about 15 minutes before it was like time to go out, and I'm like, man, I'm starting to get a little bit of anxiety, and I go over to the honor guard because these guys are in uniform; they're all Army guys, and I'm like, hey, man, I'm one of you guys. And they go, oh, that's great. And so we're talking. And I said, hey, just so we're clear, if I get out there and I start botching it, I want one of you guys to take one of those rifles and just come hit me right in the back of the head and then just take over. I said, don't let me fall on my face in front of the entire NRA organization because it's not going to be what I want. But, when I got out on the stage, I started to play my guitar and I took a big, deep breath. I'm like, all right, take your breath, get your nerves under control. And the first line didn't come out the cleanest, but right after that, I settled right in. And, the hardest line of the song, everybody thinks is the last line, but it's really not. The one that is the hard one to sing is the Rocket's Red Glare line, because that's when the pitch significantly increases. And so I'm like,
give us a demonstration right now then?
I had to retune the guitar. It took me a minute because I had to tune it down like a whole step because that's how he played it, and because he played it in kind of an open tuning, tuned down, and it was kind of and so I had a guitar that was only set up to do that song, and so
only using it once,
only for this is what it's for, and but when I got through that one line, I was like, I think I'm okay, and then I got to the last line, I'm like, all right, hit that last little vocal run, and like hope to God that they clap. Because in my head, you think about like the Super Bowl, like that's the most common thing about is the national anthem.
Sure.
Yeah.
And people love it or they hate it. There's no in between.
I want to backtrack to something.
Sure.
Back to you because the last time we spoke, of course, almost a year ago, I asked you about your military service, and I know that Herostock Nation, we've got people who have served. There are also some first responders that are out there as well too, but I vaguely remember your service in the U.S. Army and how it involved shuttling people around on aircraft. And I found that to be really intriguing. Could you share that story with our audience?
Yeah, so I joined the Army Reserve right out of high school, and my official job title was Human Resources Specialist. But when we got mobilized and went to Iraq in 2007, there's not really a whole lot of human resources work that needs to be done, but there's always stuff that needs to happen. And so one of the things that I did is I ran an airfield from the base that we were on. So anytime people were flying around the country, whether it be on a helicopter or an aircraft, an airplane, we had to keep track of where those people were coming from, where they were going, so that we could just maintain accountability of all the personnel. Back in 2007, 2008, there was still, the war was we're really in the thick of it back then, and we were having a lot of issues with IEDs, roadside bombs, so it's much more dangerous to travel the country by driving. And so if you could fly, it was the much safer route. It was much harder for them to shoot down an aircraft than it was to plant a bomb on the side of the road. So that's kind of what I did. Basically shuttled people. I think the last number, it was somewhere like 150,000 people that we had moved throughout the theater while we were there. That's in and around Iraq, to Kuwait, to go back to Germany, to demobilize, all that stuff.
What kind of aircraft?
So we worked primarily with C-130s and C-17s with the Air Force, and then we also had rotary wing aircraft, so Black Hawks, Chinooks, things like that. So back then I knew, like, hey, if I got a Black Hawk running, I can put 16 people on there. If I got a Chinook, I can put 32 on it, right? And so
those Chinooks, man, they move.
They do move,
man.
Yeah, it's an impressive because the rotors actually, they spin like opposite directions.
Yeah,
which is tremendous. It's crazy that it works, but it does somehow.
I rode in a Chinook at night, and it was full of people. We were flying low, and I tell you what, There's a little pucker factor that happens. I tell you. What.
Oh yeah, you don't realize how strong a helicopter is until you're like standing next to one and they try to take off.
Oh yeah.
I was actually out on the flight line putting some soldiers into a Black Hawk, and normally they give you a minute to get out of the way, but for whatever reason they were like, time to go, and they went up, and I was 5-6 feet out of the wingspan of that thing, and it knocked me right down to the ground, and I just had to lay there until they were gone.
I think they call it prop wash. That's ridiculous. Like, if you're standing away from a Chinook and it takes off, like you could lay out forward and it's gonna hold you there. Like 5, just like
can't move at all.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It is. It's insane how powerful it is. But if you think about it, it's like, it's got to lift all this weight. It has to, that makes sense.
I tell you, I was super scared, man. There was one time, I just got to share it with you. There was a Chinook where they're sling loading stuff, and I'm sitting on top of this like big white kicker box, and it's all done up, and I'm holding this hook up, and this Chinook's coming down, and I'm just like, man, if this guy is a little sketchy on these controls, he's gonna squish me.
Oh yeah,
you just hand him that thing, and then you jump off that thing and you run. Get out of the way. So.
Yeah, it's wild, man. It's funny looking back. You're like, man, this might be a little reckless. We probably shouldn't be doing things like this.
Yeah.
But that's the Army, man.
if the people back home could see me now,
The people that you were shuttling around, were they civilians or?
So sometimes civilians, mostly troops that were traveling throughout the theater. Like hey, I got to go down to. Like I was in Spiker up into Crit. We need to go down to Baghdad for a mission, so we'd fly them down to Baghdad on something. But then civilians, contractors that would come through, we'd fly those around, and every now and then we get the occasional USO tour that would come by, and so we get some celebrities that would come out, and that was always fun.
Did they hand you a guitar while they were there? Is that?
I tell you, one of the funniest ones. There's a band, and they're actually local to Atlanta. I feel bad. OAR is the name of the band. Mm-hmm. And they flew in for one of these USO tours, and I had no idea who they were. And I'm just talking to the guys, and they're like, hey, we're OAR. I'm like, oh, that's cool. And they go, you don't know who we are? And I go, no. they go, well, where are you from? And I go, well, I'm from, just outside of Atlanta. And they're like, well, we're from Atlanta. How come you don't know who we are? I was like, I just don't, man. I'm sorry.
Atlanta's pretty big.
It's like, it's a big city. I don't know. And I looked them up. They're actually a pretty popular band, and I felt bad that I didn't know who they were. But
man,
it's time to turn the tables, don't you think?
Yeah.
See if you can find them. Say, you should say, do you know who I am?
Yeah, do you know who I am? I play in Atlanta too.
Yeah.
I'm in the news. Come on.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it?
So listen, I thank you, man, for just taking a little bit of time out of your busy schedule, because the first time in like 11 months is like finally be able to connect with John.
Yeah.
But, my goodness, good luck with the new album, the new EP itself. It really sounds polished. It's wonderful. It's enjoyable.
Thank you, man.
And where can we find your music at?
So all that music is out on all streaming platforms, so Spotify or Apple, Pandora, Amazon, whatever you're listening on. They're on YouTube. So I'd appreciate if you guys would take a listen to them, stream them often, because that helps you. If you're ever going to get a record deal, they look at all those data matrices and see if people are following what you're doing. So
keep up with the great work, my friend. We hope you've all enjoyed our conversation with our guest U.S. Army veteran and singer-songwriter John Hensley. Both Matt and I will be back with some closing comments after this break. Not only is his music career and now expanding into sound engineering and taking that knowledge and applying it to his recordings, and to me it's noticeably different. It's improved over his first set of recordings, and not that the band was lacking anything. It's just that there's a little more polish to it.
Yeah. Not discrediting anybody by any means, but there's something different, and it's like, ooh, so it's like, whatever they're doing good, man.
Anyway, with that said, Matt, I guess we'll see you next week.
You count on me being here.
All right, everyone. Have a good night.
What's up, Herostock Nation?